I don't think I have anything that I'd like to share with you.
Do you prefer talking to other journalists? You're very articulate. That was last week when I was out in Hamilton. They didn't have any response, so they just banged on the bongo drums or shouted and screamed. Oh, brother. Well, today they were back in court because they haven't just been charged with trespassing. Those were anti-oil sands protesters who were trespassing a couple months ago on a pipeline pumping station. But then they went to court last week and they got in trouble there for getting into a tussle with cops. Joining them today at the courthouse was our friend Faith Goldy. Hey, Faith, how you doing?
Hey there, Ezra. I'm very well. Looks like they've got all sorts of techniques to ward off Sun News reporters and hosts such as ourselves.
So you went out there again. This was in Hamilton again today. You went to the courthouse, right?
That's right. So today, 5 of the 13 charged appeared there, but there was no protest that was basically alongside them. However, there was a group larger than themselves there, and they did also shout and yell at me from within actually the courthouse just outside of the courtroom, to the point where actually an officer kind of came in and said, "I'm judging by these tensions, your media, who are you with?" So things like, "Oh, Ezra Levant, she works with him."
Oh,
and, yeah.
Boy, that's the worst anyway. That's a terrible insult to say.
Well, you know what they said? They said, you work for Ezra Levant. And I said, I keep on asking the guy for money. He just won't toss it over. So, you know, if you're willing to change.
Well, like me, you work for the Sun, and we dare to ask questions rather than just be stenographers. Here, now, you tried to get some of these folks to go on the record. They're very voluble when they talk to their allies in the media, but not to skeptics. Here, let's show that first clip that you took today.
Any comment today? Do you know what we can expect today from your time in court? All of the folks charged be appearing today in court? Any comment whatsoever?
Yeah, they're not quite so brave when they're now have to answer in the court. That last girl there with the writing on her back, that was Trish Mills. She was the one who used a bicycle lock to lock herself to the pumping station. The cops had to get a saw to cut her out. I think she's been taken down a notch. She didn't realize that when you commit a crime, you have to go to court.
Yeah, and it went from off the fence at G20 to on the fence with Line 9, correct?
Yeah.
And the sad thing is that with a lot of these folks, I don't ask, you know, particularly slanted questions. It's very simple. What can we expect in court today?
Yeah.
These are standard run-of-the-mill journalistic questions, not even as deep as, do you know that it's OPEC oil that's going through there and we'd like to just change it up to some Canadian ethical oil? Not even getting into any of that. Just, hey, who's going to be joining you in court today? They won't talk to us. I was told to basically F off more than once.
Yeah, well, we saw they blurred out one of the fingers down.
Yeah.
It got gross. I mean, when I was there, there was some pushing and shoving. I think that same guy with the beard pushed me and shoved me a bit. But today, I got to say, viewer discretion advised. This is so gross. If you got a gag reflex, as I do not listen to this. Faith, I got to put it on the record. What did they do to you in the courthouse?
Okay, Ezra, so picture this. I'm
just
minding
my own
business, going about, you know, my little Twitter feed and checking my emails when all of a sudden something putrid emerges in the air. And so I gaze up from my phone, my own little world where I was harmlessly sitting and dwelling. And there before me was not one of the charged, but one of the supporters of the Line 9 protesters. Bottom, I was seated right in front of me, and all of the onlookers, namely the other Line 9ers, had their faces within their, you know, shirts.
So they farted in your face.
That
is
is exactly what happened, Ezra.
These people, I have been there. I just had to loosen my tie because this, I swear to God, this is making me gag. I know those people. I have been in their close quarters. The fact that they thought the smartest thing they can come up to you to do was to fart at you.
Are your eyes watering right now?
And I wasn't even there. It's so gross. It's so gross.
This is a discernible smell above and beyond
okay, we got to stop.
the usual orders.
I want to tell you, though, I did a little bit of research into farts. I went to the EPA website on farting.
This is why we
And
love you,
I should
Ezra.
tell you that if you're opposed to oil because it has CO2 emissions, I should tell you that CH4, which is the technical term for methane, which is what is in farts, has a 21, to be precise, 21 times more global warming power per molecule as CO2. That fart that was directed at you, Faith, is 21 times more global warming-ish than if they had burned oil instead.
Well, actually, a nearby officer said that I could even press charges for administering noxious substances.
He's not kidding. I mean, to spit on someone is assault, and to fart in someone's face, geez, I barely managed to get through this segment. It's great to see you. Keep on fighting and stay safe. You got a lighter to that kind. You got explosive. Nice to see you, my friend.